Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. You may remember a couple of times when we've talked about eating crickets on this show, and we've even talked about that with our friend recruiter guy Bill Humbert. He's a proud papa of a cricket farmer. Becky Herman joins us here on the show. She's an Iowa cricket farmer, and I'm thrilled to have her here.
Thanks, Joe.
Because we've got lots of questions.
Oh yeah, bring them on.
That's the thing. We've talked about the product before. We've had Chapul on the show, and we've talked a little bit about what they do and how they take crickets and make them into food, into bars. But we've really never talked to a cricket farmer and what that's all about, and it is fascinating. I am kind of surprised how much I'm interested in this too, because I don't really like to eat them that much, I don't think.
Well, we're excited to talk about that farm to plate, you know, from where it all begins.
Farm to plate with crickets. Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, talk to me about what being a cricket farmer involves. I sort of had this imagination of a field of crickets, and that is true in some places, but more often than not, it's sort of an indoor activity?
Well, in our situation, we have bought an old restaurant in town, and we live in a small rural town. And basically, think of levels. There's levels, and each level has, you know, one age of crickets.
Okay.
So you can kind of keep track of, you know, what week you're on as far as the life cycle.
Yeah. What is the life cycle of a cricket?
Well, a cricket could live to 1 to 2 years in the wild, but rarely do because of predators, and they're not exactly fast. So a lot of birds, everything, they eat crickets. But in captivity, if you take really good care of a cricket, it can live 1 to 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, but our crickets.
Now your crickets don't go that long.
No,
right?
no, 6 to 7 weeks. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, 6 to 7 weeks.
All right. Now, what I thought was fascinating to hear is that it's not just the crickets; it's a cricket fertilizer. It's the excrement that is also being used.
Yes, we use it all.
I never thought about this, like cricket excrement, because you've never seen cricket excrement, probably.
Sure.
Right? But when you have thousands and thousands of crickets, then yes, you do.
Exactly. Well, if you think cows and pigs and traditional livestock, everything has manure.
Right.
Cricket manure, if you will, is similar in that it's a great fertilizer. In fact, it's even better than pigs and cows as far as the makeup. So 4-2-2. So think Miracle Grow, but natural.
Really?
Yes.
And you've got to have a lot of crickets to get a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's very small. It's like sand, kind of.
Wow. And you just mix it into your soil, and boom, you got a great thing to grow in.
Absolutely.
Now, that brought up an interesting question that I had to ask. How I don't really want to eat a cricket knowing that, right?
Sure.
But you guys have a way of making sure the cricket isn't loaded up with excrement too.
Yes, yes.
How do you do this?
About 24 hours before we harvest the crickets, they fast. So that has time then to work everything out. So they digest everything, and it's kind of like naturally deveining the shrimp, if you will.
Okay, I would never. That's fascinating to me. That you do, so you take away their food for a day.
The last bit.
Wow. Okay, and then once we get to this point of like, okay, crickets are ready to be harvested, what do we do?
Okay, so after you've taken away their food and you make sure everything's healthy, you have kind of like egg cartons. We call them cricket condos that they like to live on, or kind of hop around on. Yeah. And you take those out into another container, and then once you have all of the crickets out into a different container, you can put them in the fridge and kind of slow down their process. Oh. And then into the freezer where they go all the way to sleep. Okay. Not the worst way to go. No, cricket. Probably a pretty good way to go. It's kind of natural, actually. If it was a cricket living in Iowa, for instance. That's what would happen. In the fall, they'd slow down, and winter would hit, that first freeze. That's what happens to a lot of bugs. Okay. And then from that point, all kinds of things could happen. They could become flour. Yes. I know this. That I kind of knew. Yep. What else? What are the other ways that we eat them whole? Yes, there is a market for whole crickets. A lot of people will fry them and put them with like lime leaves and seasoning. A lot of people from Southeast Asia really crave crickets because where they're from, I mean, they're on the street everywhere as far as like the vendors and everything. So when they came here, they're like, where's the crickets? Where are the bugs? Right. It's like popcorn. It's very, it's something that they eat regularly. So wow. Yeah, so there's a small market there, so that's kind of nice.
Do you now, for you, where is your market? What do you do?
Right now, locally, there are people that are curious about what do bugs taste like, especially what do crickets taste like, and a lot of the health market is really big. People that want, are concerned about their health, they lift weights, etc. They're into crickets. So locally, that's what we're looking at.
And they're good for you.
They're very
the thing
good
we
for
need
you.
to remember.
Yes.
A lot of protein, as I understand it.
Yes, and also more calcium than whole milk, more iron than spinach, all the B vitamins, omega-3s, etc. Also, magnesium has been in the news a lot lately for heart health, and they have magnesium. And usually you just find that in leafy greens like spinach.
But you can get that in crickets.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's about time I ate one.
Yes, so we have some bars.
So we have some Chapul bars here.
Yes.
We've got, and they're good friends. We love these guys. So we get their peanut butter and chocolate. We have their matcha tea goji nori. I got to try that one. That's probably going to be for me. Coconut, ginger, and lime.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're going to this peanut butter and chocolate first.
Yes,
here,
that one's
in the
my
middle.
favorite.
That's
Yep.
your favorite?
Yes.
You eat with me? 'Cause
Sure.
I don't want to do this alone.
I would love that.
Okay.
Like a
It's
regular.
like a regular breakfast bar.
Yep, protein bar.
Protein bar. I'd eat it on the mountain. I'm not feeling too bad about this. It's kind of got a rich flavor though.
Very dense.
Now, what does the cricket taste like? What should it be,
Well,
How do I think
you
of the
can't really
crickets?
taste the cricket in here, to be honest.
right?
If you were going to have a plain roasted, no seasoning cricket,
Right?
it basically tastes like a little bit of a nutty flavor.
Yeah, I
Kind
feel
of
like
like-
I can taste that. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Sort of an
there are
earthy
nuts in
tone?
here too. Yes, a little bit earthy, a little bit nutty. Kind of like on a peanut, the brown sheath that goes in. That's what it reminds me of because of their kind
Oh
of.
yeah, I
little
like
bit-
that part though.
Yeah, they're a little bit crispy, a little flaky. That's what the.
So
the
eating them
actual
like
cricket-
popcorn, pretty good, right?
Yeah, and you would salt them and.
Yeah.
Yeah, seasoning for sure. And then you can saute them just like shrimp. I mean, they're basically land shrimp, so.
I can feel like Indiana Jones.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. I'm going to open this one. I don't
Go
know
ahead.
if it's open.
It's,
Oh, it is.
I
Oh,
did.
perfect.
Yep.
All right. This is the matcha one. I'm kind of more interested in that, I think.
Yeah.
A little tea. All right.
For the gourmet.
Right. I have high taste. So, Hawkeyes playing.
Go Hawks.
When do they play?
They play today at noon.
At noon? Who are they
So
playing?
I guess that's mountain time would be 11, right?
Yeah, noon who they're playing?
They're playing Florida Gators.
Oh, well, then I'm automatically an Iowa fan then.
There we go. There we go.
Anybody that plays against the Gators, I'm with.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of people have asked us why crickets instead of why not
Right.
mealworms, because that's kind of been a thing too.
Yeah.
And crickets are sometimes known as the gateway bug. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek.
The way you get in.
Yeah, the way you get in. And they're healthier than a lot of the other insects. But around the world, a lot of people eat the caterpillars and things like
I don't
that.
think I can do that.
I know, you would
They're
think.
furry, right?
Kinda, well, not the furry ones, I don't think. The gooey ones.
Ooh, yeah, gooey.
Yes.
Okay. I think we'll wait on that for next time. Are you going to
Sounds
start
good.
growing some stuff like that? Or are you just sticking with crickets?
Maybe eventually mealworms. They're kind of easy to grow as far as. And we'd like to expand, so if we get a bigger space, we'll move the crickets and then maybe start the mealworms.
Last question.
Yes.
How loud is that restaurant?
It's, it's not that loud. And it's not the, the crickets you think of are the chirp, chirp, where are they in your basement, try to find them crickets. These aren't that kind of type of cricket.
Okay.
These crickets, it's kind of more of a constant, like, yes,
Yeah.
like looking for a mate. And that's a good sound. When you walk in, you hear that, that's good. That means they're finding friends.
Right?
And that's what you
They're
need.
having a good life.
Yes.
They're making more crickets.
More crickets.
All right. Well, it's fascinating, Becky. We could talk for a long time about this, but I am thrilled to have you here. Give us a little taste of Iowa crickets. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Think about adding some crickets to your diet. They're not that bad in the way of taste. They're certainly good for you in every other way. So you might want to consider that the next time you're in the store and you're helping out an Iowa Cricket Farmer when you do. So that's a good idea because they just continue to grow and they continue to expand that business. We'll talk about that next time, I'm sure, with her dad.
Sounds good.
Proud parents as well. We got a lot more coming up here on the Mountain Morning Show. I feel like an Iowa Cricket Farmer right now. We'll be back after this.